Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates, Season 2, Episode 207. So we start this episode off with Naomi at the house, and she's at the house. They found out about Dani. They're at the house, and um Naomi's trying to log into the portal and get schedule her and Chelsea's test, and she can't do it, so she's like frantic or whatever. She leaves. Chelsea comes in to check on her and see what she's doing because she's just like being absent-minded or whatever. So she leaves the room because she wants to go get better service because she's not able to open up the tabs and she thinks the Wi-Fi is messing up. So she leaves the room. Chelsea is worried about her because she's just like, she's talking to Kat, and she's just like, she's gonna be a worrywart or whatever. Chelsea comes, not Chelsea, but Naomi comes back, and she still couldn't get into the portal so that she can schedule the test or whatever. So she says she's just gonna go to the hospital and see if she can talk to somebody to set up for the test or whatever. So before she leaves, she tells him that she needs to call Bill and tell Bill, and Chelsea says she'll do it. So Naomi gets to the hospital. She runs into Ashley. She tells Ashley the news, and then she's trying to schedule the test or whatever. Ashley, they talk, and Naomi basically explains how it's just been so much has happened this year between Chelsea getting kidnapped, with Bill cheating on her mom with her friend, leaving her mom and marrying her friend, and then her mom shooting up the wedding, and just a bunch of stuff happening this year. Gran got cancer. It's just a bunch of stuff. She's just like frazzled, and so Ashley calms her down, talks to her, tells her that she's there for her, and she's going to see if she can get she's going to see if she can speak to the people or whatever to get to help her with the blood test. So she calls the lab, and she talks to the lab tech, and she tells him, hey, can you squeeze my friend and her sister in to get these lab tests done? I'll go to coffee with you if you do it or whatever. And Naomi is laughing at her, and she's just like, did you pimp yourself to go on a date? And she's just Ashley's just like, yeah, for you and your sister. Plus, he's hot. Um, so what I will say about this, I think I dislike Naomi more than I dislike Eva at this moment, because your husband has been trying to talk to you about everything for I don't know how long. He's trying to talk to you by himself. He's trying to see if you can go to therapy to talk to somebody. Like, he is trying with you, and you keep pushing him off, but you opened up to your best friend with ease. And it's like, girl, leave your husband. You clearly don't want to be with him because you can't even talk to him about a simple thing as what's going on in your life. So it's just like, what are we doing? Just let that man go, because I don't know what's wrong with you. So we were at the house, and we see, Naomi's left the house, and Chelsea is talking with Kat, and Chelsea is feeling down. She doesn't know, she's just feeling bad, feeling down. She doesn't know how to be there for everybody. Kat calls Martin, and she's just like, I think um Chelsea could use one of your speeches, Mr. I Have a Dream. I'm just like, girl, you a mess. The way they like, you could tell they like brother and sister, the way they go at each other or whatever. So she talks to Martin, and Martin tells her, it's out of their control, but they're gonna be okay. They're it's life, but you got family who's gonna be there for you. So she as she gets off the phone with him, as she's telling this to Kat, Nicole comes down because Nicole was upstairs talking to Dani. So Nicole comes down, and she she basically tells him, Martin's right, X, Y, and Z. Prior to this, though, she did call Bill and she's just like, we need you. Um, so Nicole is telling them, stay busy, like, keep your mind, just don't focus only on that. Like, keep your, like, stay busy or whatever. So they decide to go look at some sketches that they can see which ones they're going to send to the award people, like the stylists and stuff like that, so that their bags can be worn during award season or whatever. So as they're before they leave, she tells Nicole that she doesn't want to go because she wants to wait for Andre, and Nicole is just like, I'll wait for Andre. Just go, like, just relax. Your mom is upstairs relaxing. Like, you guys need to relax. So they leave. They're looking at the sketches. They, get their mind off of it. They say they miss each other and, they hug. So we then see Andre at the club. He runs into Ted, and they talk about the whole testing and getting the results or whatever. And Ted is just like, he wishes he could be there for Nicole at a time like this, but he doesn't have the right. And Andre is just like, speaking of, and he points to Carlton because Carlton is still in the club after he had talked to Andre. So Ted is like a little bit in his feelings, and Andre is just like, you ain't got no right to be in your feelings because that man didn't make a move on he didn't make a move on Nicole until she was your ex-wife. Y'all were already, like, on paper separated. So it's not like he tried it with her while y'all were married, because you tried it with Leslie while you were married. So you have no room to talk. And I was just like, I know that's right, Andre. So Ted goes into the club, and he sits next to Carlton, orders the same drink as him. So they talk, and they talk about how they both been scheduling all their appointments away from each other so they don't have to run into each other. And then Ted basically tells him, I'm not mad about it no more. And Loki, you have no right to be mad about. I mean, I feel two ways about it. You can't be mad because that's not your wife. You cheated on her. You can't be mad at who she dates at the same time. Yeah, that's supposed to be your best friend, your business partner, and the fact that he's been lusting for your wife the whole time he was in your, like, you was in your relationship, I would feel some type of way. But it's a soap, you know. So Ted tells Carlton that, if since I can't be there for her, I would hope that I want her to have somebody who would, have her best interest in mind. And Carlton tells him, like, I would never hurt her. And it was just like, ooh, that was some shade. So they come to terms with them or whatever, and I guess they're gonna be friends, but not really. But they're gonna be couples. They're gonna be cordial with each other, basically. So we then see Bill is at the office, and he's in a meeting, but he's not focusing. And Haley is watching him like a hawk. And Tomas asked him a question. Again, Bill wasn't focusing, so he asked him to repeat it. So he repeats it, and Bill tells him to do whatever, or what he's gonna do is good, because they're talking about the Lynette embezzlement case or whatever. So Tomas asked Haley and Caroline for help doing some, digging into the employer. And so they break, and Haley is asking Bill, like, you sure you're good? Like, what's up? Because you've been real distracted. Is everything okay? And he's just like, no, I just got a lot on my mind, X, Y, and Z. He then gets a call from Chelsea. So he gets a call from Chelsea, and Chelsea is telling him, like, oh, that's when Chelsea, tells him, we need you or whatever. So he is trying to get he's trying to he's looking for his keys, and Haley is just like, what's going on, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm trying to find my keys, da, 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 da. And she's just like, well, what's up, like, what's up? And he's just like, I don't have time for this, I need to be there for my family. And so she finds his keys and she hands it to him, and she was just like, here you go. And he was just like, thanks, and he leaves. So she's rolling her eyes. Tomas walks in, and Tomas walks in and he's looking for Bill, and she tells him, like, he had to leave and X, Y, and Z. As they're talking, Tomas gets a text from Kat saying that her mom tested negative. So he's just like, thank God. And Haley's just like, what's up? So he tells her that Nicole tested negative. So Haley figures out, well, since Nicole tested negative, then that means Danny must have tested positive, which is the reason why Bill ran out of here like a bat out of hell. And so she gets pissed, and she's just like, she always has, she's always there, and she's always gonna come first, and all this other stuff. And then she's just like, I know you must think ill of me because I'm jealous of my husband's ex during a time like this. And he's just like, no, it's okay, all this other stuff. So she thanks him, he leaves. She does her little, evil person soliloquy, and she's just like, pretty soon you're gonna be crying over his coffin and all this other stuff. And it's just like, girl, what? So then she calls Randy, and she's just like, where you at, cuz? And I'm just like, I hate when she says that. Because it's just like, it just, I don't know, it just feels so forced and fake. But hey, she's supposed to be fake, so it is what it is. So as she's talking about, telling him that she needs more stuff so that she can like follow through with her plan, Tomas is at the door because he was about to come in, and he overhears her. So we shall see, because he overhears, but he really doesn't overhear, because it's just like, you don't know what she's talking about. But hopefully we get to moving with that. So we get to the best part of the show, which was Dani and Nicole. It was so, I love their relationship. I love their little sissy. I just love it. So, they were all up, they were hugging up on each other after the last episode when, Nicole came into the room and then got into bed with Dani, and she cried. So they talk about when they were younger, and Nicole had broke her arm, and Dani cried for days because she was like, she wanted to have a cast too. So Nicole spent days making a cast for Dani that would fit perfectly for her, just to, just taking care of her sister and trying to make it better. And she's just like, I wish I can make this better. So she's just like, I'm relieved and happy that I tested negative. And I'm happy for my kids that they don't have to worry about that. And that makes me feel selfish as a sister. And Dani is just like, no, that's you being a mom. And it could have gone either way. And I'm not mad at you for being happy, because I'm happy that your kids don't have to go through it, because that's another something that we would have to go through. The only thing that I'm worried about right now are my girls, and she's trying to pull herself together so she can be there for them. And Nicole is just like, no, you need to like take time for yourself. Like, it's okay if you take a bath and relax for an hour. I got the girls. You're good. Like, go take a bath. And so Dani goes and takes a bath, and that's when Nicole goes downstairs and she's talking to the girls. Chelsea and them left. As soon as Chelsea left, Bill comes running in. Where's Dani? And Nicole is just like, boy, if you don't go somewhere, like, you need to go be with your girls. That's what I was saying. But she was just like, chill out. Like, she don't need you here. She's good. Like, she don't need your energy. Like, leave her be. And he's just like, no, I'm gonna be there for her. All this other stuff. And then so he he asked, where is she? And she says she's taking a bath, and he just runs upstairs. And I was just like, Dani, you need to buy a new house, because, like, sir, are you okay? You, like, I don't care if you used to live here. You lost all privileges walking in my house, walking into my room, doing anything in this house when you cheated on me the first time. And you've cheated on me multiple times. And then you decided to leave me for a younger one. Yeah, you have no rights to come up in this house like you own it. I don't care if you owned it before, you no longer own it. So Bill had a lot of nerve, like a lot. Like his audacity was up here because, sir, child, ooh. So Andre finally comes home and it was just like, sir, you, I was also mad at Andre because I was just like, excuse me, like, you know, your wife is waiting on this test. You figured out that you don't have your phone. All that talking that you was doing to Carlton, to Jacob, to Ted, all of that was unnecessary. Like, you should have got them eggs Benedict that she asked for when you figured out that you didn't have your phone. Bump the workout. When you figured out you didn't have your phone, you should have went and ordered that eggs Benedict and took your happy tail home. All that other stuff that you was doing was so unnecessary. But of course, it's a soap, so I know it had to be done. So he gets home. He gets home, and he's telling Nicole, you know, oh, he walks in and he's just like, honey, I'm home. And Nicole comes downstairs because she had went upstairs and she seen, sorry, I done missed the whole thing because I was so annoyed by Bill. Bill goes upstairs. He talks to he sees Dani, and Dani is just like, what are you doing here? He was just like, I'm here for you. He gives her a hug. They're hugging, and Nicole walks in and she sees it and she's just looking. Lord, here we go again. So Dani tells him, you shouldn't be here. You need to be with the girls. And he's just like, you know, I'm always going to be there for you. And this, and that. You know, there's nothing that can keep me away from you when you need me and all this other stuff. So they hugging again. So again, Andre comes home. He sees Nicole. Nicole tells him, hey, Dani tested positive. He's just like, oh my God, okay, I need to go be with my wife. She stops him and she's just like, he was just like, where's Dani? She was just like, he's upstairs. She's trying to go upstairs. And she's just like, in there. So he's just like, oh God. So he walks upstairs and he sees Bill and Dani hugging. I was just like, damn, why? Oh my God. You should have let that man you should have like pushed harder for him to leave. Like, you don't have no rights to say that you are going to be there for me now that whatever he was saying, because sir, you was never there for me because you was cheating on me left and right. So no, just because I'm going through a health crisis right now does not mean that that gives you carte blanche to walk all up in my house and try to be there for me. No, it does not work like that. You lost all access to all of this when you decided to cheat on me. So Andre walks in, Dani sees him and she runs to him and hugs him and kisses him. And he was just like, you know, I'm so sorry that I wasn't here for you when you got the news. And Bill is just like, it's okay. I was here for her. I was here for her when she needed a shoulder. And I was just like, and you bold? Bill would have got his tail whooped if I was Andre. So he's I can't remember what Bill said, but oh no, he was just like, yeah, I'm there. I'm here for her whenever she needs a shoulder. And you know, since you couldn't be here, and Andre was just like, don't tell me what my wife needs, da da da, all this other stuff. And so he was just like, fine, I'll leave. I guess it's time for me to go. I'm gonna go check on Chelsea. And Dani was just like, yeah. And then he was just like, yeah, you do that. And he was just like, Bill, let me walk you out. I was just like, okay, Andre, please don't embarrass me. So they get down. Dani walks to they walk out and Dani tells Nicole, this doesn't look good. And she was just like, this can't be good. And Nicole is just like, it sure isn't. Because they know. But Nicole was low-key proud of her nephew, like, yeah, he about to tell him something. I was just like, I hope he tells him something. So they get downstairs and Andre told him something. I was just like, I know that's right, Andre. You better tell him. So he basically tells him, don't be coming up in my house. If I catch you in a room with my wife in my wife's bedroom again, it's gonna be a problem. And what's his name? Bill was just like, what's up? Like Bill was just like, what's up, Playboy? What's on your mind? And that's when he was telling him, like, if I catch you in my wife's room again, it's gonna be a problem. You gonna have to basically you gonna have to come see me. And Bill was just like, is that a threat? He was just like, I ain't stud a counselor. I said, I know that's right. You tell him. So he basically told him, you need to check yourself before I check you. Don't be running up in my house. Don't be all up in my wife's in our bedroom. It's over for you with that. You can be there for Chelsea and Naomi because that's who needs you. But my wife is good where she at. She good with who she got. So check yourself. I was just like, thank you. Thank you, Andre, for real. So Bill just like, walks out like whatever. And it was just like, yeah, you got told. Look, you got told. So that's how the episode ends. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Yeah, I think that was it. I think that's how that's how it ends. It was a good episode. Again, they have been firing on all cylinders lately, and I am loving it. Um, but yeah, that was the episode. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you know whenever I post. Go ahead and get down in them comments so we can discuss. And I will see you guys in the next one.